Hi, welcome back to, yes, another Daily Lore React. Let's see, we are reacting to this next one, this one. So let's go watch the video. Yes.
Found out my fiance has been secretly taking my inheritance money to pay child support for a kid he never told me about, then had the audacity to say I was being selfish when I confronted him and called off the wedding. His family now claims I'm ruining his life over one mistake. I,
Oh,
29F,
dang it.
was supposed to be getting
Don't
married
know what
next
that
month to
did.
Jake, 32M.
I don't know what that did. Hope that didn't mess with the video. I really don't. I hope it didn't. I'm probably talking to myself right now. Because I'm going to watch this back and then realize it's not messed up. Because the recording app I use only records this screen, so I hope it doesn't mess it up. Well, whatever. I was gonna talk about that, but I clicked on something and that stuff. Wait, hold on. We'll go back.
Told me about, then had the audacity. Found out my fiance has been secretly taking my inheritance money to pay child support for a kid he never told me about, then had the audacity to say I was being selfish when I confronted him and called.
Yeah, that's. Uh, that's terrible. Oh my god. Uh, you never told her about it? You never told your partner that you had a kid or your fiance that you had a kid? They might have helped. Who knows? Or they might not. It depends. I don't know. That you'll never know. You never ask them. So obviously now you will never know the answer. But the audacity of them being mad is just insane. Like, my god.
Off the wedding. His family now claims I'm ruining his life over one mistake.
Uh, nah, mistake, right? It's not a mistake, it's a choice. You choose, you chose to take their inheritance to pay your child support. That's a choice you chose. I don't know if you chose it over and over again, or you only chose it that one time, but you choose to do that. It's not a mistake at all. A mistake is like something that you forget to do. That's a mistake. A mistake is basically forgetting. That's what a mistake usually is. A mistake is not a choice. A mistake is a mistake. A mistake is forgetting. And forgetting is you don't remember.
I, 29F, was supposed to be getting married next month to Jake, 32M, my partner of 5 years. Now I'm sitting alone in my apartment with a canceled venue, a wedding dress I'll never wear, and a broken heart that feels beyond repair. Everything I thought I knew about the man I loved has turned out to be a lie, and I'm still struggling to process how my life imploded so suddenly. Jake and I met at a friend's birthday party and hit it off immediately. He was charming, attentive, and seemed genuinely interested in building a future together. 2 years ago, he proposed during a weekend trip to the coast, and I said yes without hesitation. We moved in together shortly after and began planning our wedding and our life. I thought I knew everything about him, his dreams, his fears, his past. I was wrong. My grandmother passed away last year, leaving me a substantial inheritance, about $175,000. It wasn't a
They're probably gonna tell us, but how did he get access to that? Is the question, honestly.
fortune, but it was enough to set us up comfortably. We agreed to use part of it for our wedding, put some toward a down payment on the house, and save the rest for our future children's education. Jake suggested that since he was better with money, he should manage the inheritance.
that's that's like a one red flag right there. That's the first red flag. Oh my god! Like what? Sorry. That is terrible. Personally, I think having separate accounts is the way to go in a relationship. Doesn't matter what it is. You could, if you want, you could discuss a joint account together, but you should both have your own separate accounts. And then obviously you both, of course, contribute equally or not equally, depending on whatever you set up into your joint account. It makes shit a lot easier than having everything all in one account. Even if you are together for 20 plus years, it still makes it a lot easier to have two different accounts. Some people might disagree, but I don't know. I do not want one account all together. That's just not. That's personally. That's no. The, and it just doesn't sound viable. It really doesn't. Also, back to this. Um, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for him to have the idea. Like, how do you know you're more financially responsible between the both of you? That just, yeah. It's kind of iffy right there. I mean, that's gonna raise some flags right there.
I trusted him completely, so I
Of
agreed.
course you did.
At first, everything seemed fine. Jake would give me regular updates about our finances, showing me spreadsheets and investment reports.
Um, why? Just why? I mean, I understand the idea of just letting your partner handle everything makes sense because you don't have to do any research or anything. You don't have to do all that shit. But I mean, honestly, you probably should. You should know how much money you have. Not from a even if it's your partner, not from a second source, unless you really trust your partner. But other than that, you should know how much money you have yourself. You should see it with your own eyes.
But something felt off when I noticed the total amount seemed to be decreasing faster than our wedding expenses could explain. When I asked him about it, he would get defensive or change the subject, telling me not to worry.
Hiding something. Hiding something. Getting defensive over money that is not technically yours. I mean, I know some married people like saying our money, but technically it's still not your money. It was her inheritance. And you're not married yet, so still.
About it. Last month, I decided to check our joint account while Jake was at work. I discovered regular monthly transfers of $2,000 to an account I didn't recognize. Over the past year, nearly $24,000.
Yep, that's not a mistake at all. Past year, that's a choice. You chose to give $2,000. I mean, not you don't choose to give $2,000. You were probably courted to give $2,000 for child support, and of course, you chose the money that wasn't yours, even if you were getting married. What? Even if you were getting married, it still wasn't your money. And even if she was fine with it, like she might have been fine with it if you actually discussed it with them. Like I said, now we'll never know if they would be fine with it or not, or if they would help you. You will never know because you never had that discussion.
Disappeared this way. My stomach dropped. Was Jake gambling? Did he have a secret addiction? I couldn't make sense of it. I confronted him that evening, hoping there was a reasonable explanation. His reaction was not what I expected. Instead of denial or shame, Jake got angry. He accused me of spying on him and violating his privacy.
Huh? Are you stupid or dumb? Violating your privacy in a joint account. That makes as much sense as a cat being a dog. What? A cat being a dog? Like, what? Huh? Are we speaking English? Are you what? Your privacy in a joint account. That, okay.
When I stood my ground and demanded to know where my inheritance money was going, he finally broke down. Jake had a 6-year-old daughter, a child he had never once mentioned during our 5 years together. The money was going to his ex for child support payments that he had fallen behind on before we met. He claimed he had kept it a secret because he was afraid I would leave him if I knew. He had been paying his back child support with my inheritance, without my.
That's the problem. You assumed. Most people assume. Obviously, of course, you shouldn't assume. You should talk things out in a relationship to make sure you're on the same page. It's just I don't whatever.
Knowledge or consent. I was speechless. It wasn't just about the money, though that was bad enough. It was the deception. 5 years together, and he had hidden the existence of his own child. I had told Jake countless times how much I wanted children, how I looked forward to becoming a mother. All those conversations, and he never once thought to mention he already was a parent. When I asked if he had planned to ever tell me about his daughter, his answer shattered whatever was left of my trust. Eventually, he said, once we were married and it was too late for you to back out. Those
That does not sound like a trustworthy person that you get to marry. That does not sound like a person you want in your life at all. That sounds like a terrible marriage plan. Like, my God, my dude, you are, you're hopeless, basically. Like, what? That is not a good idea. Should have told them right from the beginning that you have a kid. You should have ask him if you are willing to help me pay child support. If they're not, oh well, it's not their responsibility at all anyway. So it's not like you. Yeah, yeah. Even if you're married, it's still not their responsibility. It's your kid still. Even if they are the step parent now, it's still your kid. It's your responsibility to pay child support. My God. Communication. I don't really get it. And obviously, what he's saying is stupid.
words kept replaying in my mind, exposing the calculated nature of his deception. I told Jake I needed space and went to stay with my best friend for a few days. While there, I did some digging and discovered more lies. Jake's ex hadn't trapped him with a pregnancy as he claimed. They had been in a serious relationship for 3 years. He had walked out when their daughter was just 8 months old, and his ex had to take him to court to get child support established. The back payments weren't even court ordered, they were an agreement he had made to compensate for years of providing nothing for his child.
Oh, so they weren't. I thought they were court mandated, but no, they weren't. It was just an agreement they made. Wow. That's. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's why I'm quiet. I have no words. Honestly, this Reddit made me have no words. I don't know. I,
When I returned home, I knew what I had to do. I told Jake the wedding was off and our relationship was over. I expected remorse, or at least
good call on her part or their part. That's the right choice to do. You would have to be insane to continue the marriage or to continue with the wedding.
understanding of the gravity of his betrayal. Instead, he became indignant. He said I was being selfish and unreasonable, that lots of men had children from previous relationships, and that I.
Yeah, they do, but they don't keep them a secret for 5 years, and then also lie about, you know, and at first, when you got caught, you lied about. You got angry and dismissive and whatever about where the money was going or whatever. Uh, actually, no. Before that, he wanted to he wanted to, what, manage the money, and he sends $2,000 a month to his ex for child support for a year. $2,000 every single month for an entire year. That's also a problem. So no, it's not that you just have a kid. It's that you are lying for 5 years and on top of the money as well for an entire year. So yeah, no. I don't this person doesn't make no sense.
Was throwing away our future over one mistake. He didn't even seem to understand which mistake I was upset about, the child or the lies or the theft. I moved out the next day, leaving Jake with the apartment since my name wasn't on the lease. I managed to recover about half of my remaining inheritance money before Jake drained the account completely. I've initiated legal proceedings to recover the rest, but my lawyer says it might be complicated since I had given him access to the funds. I thought the nightmare would end there.
Yeah, that's the mistake on your part. That's the mistake on your part. You shouldn't have done that. Like I said, it was a bad idea from the beginning. In general, you should have your own money. You should have your own account. You should learn how to do everything yourself. Self sufficient. Obviously, if you want to and if you trust your husband that much, been married for more than 10 years or 20 years, and you trust him completely, like without any doubt, and nobody can make you have doubt, then obviously, yes, that's fine. You both could, or if it's faster, whatever, no doubt at all, then yes, fine. You could have your whoever handle all the money. Otherwise, you both should have separate accounts, and then if you both want a joint account, you could have one, but you both still should have your own separate accounts. It makes shit a lot easier. It makes everything a lot easier.
But I was wrong. Jake's family, who had always been warm and welcoming to me, have now launched a campaign of harassment. His mother calls me daily, leaving voicemails about how I'm ruining her son's life over one youthful indiscretion. His sister has been posting veiled attacks on social media, painting me as a gold digger who is only concerned about money. The most hurtful part is
What? I understand. I don't really understand. Well, I understand that the family is the husband's family, yada yada yada. They're gonna support whatever. But what the hell are they saying?
that several of our mutual friends have taken Jake's side. They tell me I'm overreacting, that hiding a child is not that big a deal, and that since we were planning.
Honestly, I have a feeling most people can't room to talk because obviously you don't know what you would do in that situation until you're in that situation. And the exact same scenario as well. Not just a similar situation, the exact same situation. And if you would react the same, obviously, yeah, you won't know. You will never know, of course.
To merge our lives anyway, the money would have been his too eventually. One even
No, not necessarily.
suggested that I should be grateful he used the money for his child instead of gambling or drugs. I feel like I'm living in an alternate reality where I'm the villain for expecting basic honesty.
Huh? I don't. I don't. Why? What kind of comparison is that? I mean, it's all still bad. I mean, yeah, that I won't say gambling is as bad as the drugs, of course, but technically, they're all still bad. All of them are still bad. Doesn't matter what it is. Being a drug addict, of course, will be the worst one. But then, of course, gambling would be the second worst, and then the last one, of course, will be the what the child support payments. But they're all still bad, especially when you hide them as well
The man I was going to marry.
and use the money, the inheritance money. That's
My family supports my decision, but they live across the country and can't provide the in person support I desperately need right now. Yesterday, I received a text from an unknown number. It was Jake's ex, reaching out to thank me. Apparently, Jake had told her about our breakup, blaming it on my inability to accept his daughter. She wanted me to know the truth, that Jake had barely been involved in their daughter's life, visiting maybe twice a year, and that the money I discovered wasn't even going entirely to child support. She suspects he was using some of it to pay off other debts. This confirmation should make me feel vindicated.
so it was gambling. My God, my dude, you. Oh my God, either it was gambling or something else. I don't know. It just gets worse and worse the more we listen.
But instead, I just feel hollow. I'm grieving not just the loss of my relationship, but the future I thought I had. I'm embarrassed for not seeing the signs, angry at being deceived, and terrified of trusting anyone again. The wedding date is just 3 weeks away.
I mean, everyone says that. I mean, everyone usually say that, and usually people get, I wouldn't say over it, technically over it, but they learn from it, grow from it, whatever it is, and they move past it.
Now, the venue won't refund our deposit, the invitations have been sent, and non refundable arrangements have been made. Jake has the audacity to suggest we should still get married and work through our issues afterward. He says canceling now would be a waste of money, my money, that he's already spent so much of. I've blocked Jake on everything, but rumors have reached me that he's telling people I'll come to my senses before the wedding date. He doesn't seem to understand that there is no coming back from this level of betrayal. I could perhaps forgive the secret child, given time and therapy. I might even eventually understand his fear of telling me. But the calculated deception, the theft of my inheritance, and his complete lack of remorse make reconciliation impossible. My mother suggested I still use the
Yeah, he doesn't really understand he doesn't understand anything, honestly. He really is stupid.
venue, not for a wedding, but for a celebration of my escape from a man who would have made my life miserable. My best
That's
friend
true.
thinks I should take a trip instead, use what's left of my money to go somewhere I've always wanted to visit and start healing. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. All I know is that as painful as this is, finding out now is better than finding out after we were married, with possibly more children and more complications. I just wish I could stop second guessing myself, stop wondering if I'm overreacting like Jake and his family claim. Am I wrong for calling off the wedding? Should I have been more understanding of Jake's fear of losing me?
No, no, no. I don't. You're not wrong for calling out the wedding. That's the key point. Not wrong at all. His fear of losing you. I don't think he's afraid of losing you. I think he's afraid of losing money. I think that's basically it. That's all he's afraid of. And who knows, he might do the same thing to you as he did to his previous ex. He might get you pregnant, you might give birth, he might leave after 8 months. You would never know now, which is a good thing, but could have done that the same. Yeah, of course, we don't know.
Was it really just money that could have been resolved differently? I know in my heart that ending the relationship was the right decision, but with so many people telling me I'm making a mistake, I can't help questioning myself.
What's the fastest
Yeah,
way
that's the
to get your sterile
problem.
processing technician certification? Well, not many people know.
That's the problem. If people keep telling you that you're making a mistake, obviously you're gonna, not everyone, but some people would have doubt. There's gonna be doubt creeping into your decision. And then that's exactly what they want. They want doubt involved into your mind. So they will keep saying something over and over again until there's doubt in your mind. And then of course you're probably going to change your opinion or change your idea or change your thought of something, which is exactly what they want, which is terrible. It's terrible, not good. So it's a good thing that they call off the wedding. It's a good thing that it's he's not they're not afraid of losing you. They're probably just afraid of losing money. That's basically it, I think, in my opinion. It's what it sounds like. Whatever. Okay. Found out my fiance fiance has been secretly taking my inheritance money to pay child support for a kid. And that's why I read story react. Hope you have a nice day, a good evening, a nice night, and a good morning. Okay, bye.